plaintiff, Kaylee Dixon, says she and the defendant were roommates. And while living together, she claims the defendant's boyfriend abused her cat and broke his leg. Kaylee soon moved out of the apartment, and she's suing the defendant for breach of contract. Defendant Tylen Good admits that her boyfriend at the time was not a fan of cats, but on the day of the incident, she was not in the room when Kaylee's cat was injured. Tylen insists she does not owe Kaylee for anything.
Start with you.
Okay, so I met Tylen back in the summer of 2016. I ended up wanting to move into an apartment June of 2017. Had her move in with me. Shortly after that, found out she was really immature, lazy, didn't want to clean, had people in and out all the time, waking me up late at night, banging. I actually came home one day and there was liquor sitting on the table and my cat knocked it over and started drinking it. I sent her a text message.
You saw that?
Yeah, she said she was down at the pool. She cleaned
And what
it up.
did the cat do?
He seemed fine. Luckily, I caught it before he got drunk. I don't know.
He didn't go to sleep?
I kept him up.
Okay.
He seemed fine. I don't know, maybe he liked it. I don't know.
Cat was like, this is way better than water.
Right.
And then me and my friend Bree were going on a trip before her husband's left for a deployment, and I get a phone call the day before we come home. She agreed to watch the cat, that my cat got tossed on the ottoman and he landed on his leg wrong. But they had to go to a car show, so they were going to come back later on. Came back the next morning, said he was still limping. I had my mom take him to the animal hospital, and they said that the way his leg was broke, that they must have thrown him up against a wall in order to snap it the way it was snapped. And so from then, I was just like, you know what, I'm done. I want nothing to do with this, and that's why we're here.
I was not currently in the room when that happened with the cat. That's why I didn't know. It was my boyfriend at the time. I told him to be nice to the cat because he wasn't a fan of cats. I was in the bathroom when it happened.
You were?
I was in the bathroom when it happened. I was going to the bathroom. I came out, heard a loud meow, and I asked what happened, and that's what he told me, so that's what I told him.
5-week-old cat.
He told me that he tossed him. Right. When I saw that, I told him straight up before we even left for the car show.
Did he tell you why he tossed?
No, he didn't tell me why.
Did you ask?
I asked him, but he just said he just did it. I told him straight up, like, I looked at it because I grew up on a farm, so I know a lot more.
Is this part of your claim?
No, it should be. It was $1,200.
Yeah, it should be. Tell me about the amount you're suing for.
During, since all that happened, I told her, I'm going to move out, So I ended up, we need to find another
How's
roommate.
your cat, by the way?
Good.
Okay,
yeah,
good.
He's
Survived
jumping
it?
up walls and, he's fine.
All right, and so you told her you were moving.
Yeah, I told her, I wanted to move out, but in the contract, you can't move out unless,
have a
both parties,
roommate.
right. So when I went to the apartment place, because she found someone, to take my spot, they said, oh no, we're not letting you sign off. She had 3 eviction notices on her door, not paying on time, and they said she's just not responsible.
Got it. So what occurred then?
I was like, okay, he can still move in. I'll do a roommate agreement, we'll all sign it. So I had one written up, which I have for you.
Between you all? Between
us, yeah. And I have that.
And essentially says what?
And it pretty much states in there, they keep the apartment clean. They, her roommate would pay as me, even though I'm on the lease. And then towards the end, all I would do is the signing. So any fees, late fees, stuff like that would be all on them. So I went ahead and moved out, came back in to get my table that I had. And the apartment was trashed, and noticed that there was also weed on the fireplace. So at that point, I was just done. Didn't want to deal with it. I was like, okay, we're either going to sign off this lease, or I'm going to go to the police station and file a drug report. So they agreed we'd sign off, ended up signing off. The agreement we had with the apartment place is we'd give them a 30-day notice, vacate, clean the apartment, which was not done. It was like $416 worth of cleaning, which I have pictures of. And front and back.
Two-sided.
So ended up doing that, moved everything out. I called them come December, and they said, oh no, they didn't pay. Now that they didn't pay, now you owe $8,985 till the end of the lease. I said, I don't have that money. And they said, well, that's what's due. So I contacted them, sent them 10, 20, 30 messages, never response. Contacted a lawyer. He said, okay, we'll see if they'll settle. So I ended up calling the apartment. They said they'll settle for the $3,300. So when I told them that, she said, oh, I don't have that money. I can't do that. I was like, well, I don't have $3,300. Just so here you go, you know, all done. Let you just get away with it. And, you know, she said, okay, well, I'll come up with $500. I said, okay. So I told them, you know, it was due February 15th. I told them it was due the 10th, just so if I don't get the money, which she always says she hasn't and doesn't, I have time to come up with the rest of it. So she ended up giving me $194.97. Got that. I said, okay, where's the rest? Never heard anything from her.
Actually, Your Honor.
And so then ended up coming up with the rest. I gave them the $3,300.
They came up with the rest?
I came up with the rest. Yeah, I took out 2 loans, borrowed some money, you know, whatever. Then I went to the apartment place. I gave them the deposit for, which I have the receipt of the $3,300. And then I have.
See it, please.
And then that was the email from the apartment stating that we'd just pay him that and then be done.
Okay. Ma'am?
I actually did contact Kaylee. The reason why I sent her the $194, and I explained it to her, I had to leave work early to go to the bank to figure out why the rest wouldn't send. It was all on my PayPal. I was trying to transfer it over to my card.
That's one time. Now, what about the rest of the times? When she was texting you repeatedly and you guys never answered. How about yesterday? How about the day before then?
That's when I contacted her and I went to the bank.
When? That's when? When is when?
After she messaged me. I called her, contacted her on Facebook after she had messaged me about those messages.
Oh, she only did it once?
No, after every message.
How about the other? Every one? You said what to her?
There were some messages I didn't get an answer because I can't answer my phone at work.
So you didn't answer every one of them?
Not when I was at work.
You just told me you did.
But the ones when I left work, I answered her. When I left work
what
to go to
about the contract where you all agreed she wouldn't have to pay anything, wouldn't be liable? What about that?
That happened with the leasing office.
All right.
I went down.
It's between you as well.
Yes,
Your name is on here.
I am on it.
All right. So it didn't happen between the leasing office. It happened between you, her, and the other roommate. What do you say to the contract you signed saying that she would be responsible for $0?
Yes, she would be responsible for $0.
What do you say now to that?
I am not saying she is responsible for any of that.
Yes, you are. Have a good day. Judging for the plaintiff, the claim is clear, saying whatever happened, she would not be responsible for one dime. Not rent, not fees, not damages. Judgment for the plaintiff. Have a good day. Find another person to game with, not me.
I paid the bills. I cleaned the apartment. I told
Harassment. That's the only reason that I had a problem with.
Harassing you for what? Making you be an adult and pay your bills?
No, messaging my mom.
When you send 100 messages and get nothing and there's $3,300 that's due?
I replied to you when I got home.
You did not.
I did, because I called you.